Hello, today I would like to show you something really interesting. When I think about Russia, I see a beautiful woodworking, and with that beautiful woodworking, there is a one skill that they've got, and it is creating pictures on a wood, pictures or at different shapes, and it can honestly looks like a real picture. And the question is how they do it without using paint. And they are using a device that I believe is called a pyrograph, and it's used for burning wood. But depending how long you are going to touch the wood, you are going to have a whole range of colors, different shades. And this is one of these devices, but that unit is dedicated for a hobby use, and it ended up to be extremely interesting device, and I'm going to show you everything because there is a couple unique features. Let's start from taking a look at the user manual. As you can see, it's in Russia. We can only see a couple of things like 220 volts. We've got a Celsius degree, and yeah, but let's take a look. This is how it looks like. Those are a template. This is something that I told you about. There are samples of what you can do. As you can see, you can just touch the tip and create different pictures, and depending on temp, it's going to be more deeply, more charcoal or not. Here we can see the power supply unit, and rest of the manual. '92, so this is almost 30 years old. And that concludes the user manual. This is the part for woodworking, and it's going to just get hot, similar to the soldering iron. But there is a couple more interesting things, and they include something like this, and you can try to guess what it is. But for me, this is a tip for a soldering iron, and we've got a spare one, and we either got the copper tip that you have to make yourself and crimp it. So that one is for wood, that one is for soldering. We are going to try both of them. And that's not all good features. We've got something like this, and that's absolutely amazing. You can try guess what this is going to do. So we've got like a ground clamp, and we've got this, and try to guess what's going to do. It's going to engrave in metal, and you will be able to label your tools like permanently on a metal. That's absolutely amazing. We are going to take it apart, and let's start from the beginning. So that's the look. We've got the, I believe, power switch. We've got ability to change the power output. That's most likely just switching the tap from the transformer. We've got this very interesting enclosure that looks like some kind of waste. Can you see something? Yes. We can take a look. That's interesting because we can see that it was made in the 90s, not 92. So it is a 30 years old device. So what we are going to start, let's start slow by trying to do some woodworking. I grab this piece of scratch material and we can try turn it on, and it should go hot, and we should be able to touch it, and as you can see it's starting to working. And this is what you are going to do. So we can type our electronic blog ENB, and you've got a lot of different things that can happen. You can poke it like this, creating something from a small dots. You can regulate the temp of the tip, and that's going to also affect the color. So yeah, you have some form of adjustment, but of course you have to be creative. I'm not that kind of person. And let's go for a metal thing and let this cool down before we try to solder something. This is much more interesting thing because even nowadays I haven't seen devices like this. Here I've got the metal tool and I would like to label it forever, and with help of this device we should be able to do that. I'm wondering, should I wear a safety eye protection from a UV lamp, but I'm going to take a look by the camera. But let me grab a safety glove. I prepare my working space. I'm using the safety gloves, but not because I'm afraid of the voltage, but I've got no idea how safe it is after 30 years, and I would not like to have any parts being live if the transformer fail. And we are going to try engrave something, and let's take a look. I will increase the voltage, couple steps. This is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing. Let's take a look at the tip, and it's being pulled into the device as soon as it makes a contact. And we've got this beautiful label, and it is permanently engraved into the metal. There is absolutely no way of getting rid of it. It is permanently engraved. Okay, let me turn the power off. Let's take a look what's inside. So this is our tip. This is our tip. This does not look like a wolfram. That looks like copper. But maybe I'm wrong. We've got a spring for providing a spring back action and to push the tip back, and we've got a copper coil, and that hollow copper coil it's most likely ended. So what you are going to get, you've got an electromagnet that is going to be activated. Let's take a look at this. So we've got one part of a conductor here, and we are closing the circuit by the tip, and that moment we are energizing the coil, and it's going to be pulled into by the coil, but at the same time we are breaking the connection. When we break the connection, it's going to de-energize the coil and it's going to push it back, and the cycle is going to repeat most likely 50 cycles per second, and that's going to be from AC. Is that possible? And I believe the coil is also used for stepping up voltage, because when the magnetic field is going to collapse, we are going to get a high voltage, and most likely that's what making those very nice sparks. So really interesting and kind of simple device. Very important not to lose the spring. So no magic there, but really interesting and nice device. And let's try to solder something. This is the last thing that we can do. Let's open this. And here is our woodworking part. We can replace it very easily. Let's put the soldering tip. Just like that. Let's put everything back, and I'm really interested whether it's going to work. I'm going to hit the maximum temp, and that looks like a correct setting, and I can see smoke, which is a good sign. Let's try add some solder. It looks like it's actually working. Oh my goodness, that's so amazing. It is working. It is working just fine. Let's try to put some solder on that. I've got no idea how to operate this, but it's working perfectly fine. Look how amazing it is. This is just tip like that with a copper element at the end being crimped. That's a great engineering. Absolutely amazing. We can try do more. And yes, it does work. And this looks like a good solder joint. Very good solder joint. So as you can see, we've got this absolutely amazing hobby multi-purpose device from Russia, 30 years old, and still everything working absolutely great. So let's take a look at the three things. Okay, and that's going to be a nice thumbnail. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find that interesting. See you next time and bye bye.